Now we're ready to rock and roll. Just lands for our opponents. Brings it to our turn 2. We can cast our commander. 2-mana commanders are awesome. Cast Magda. I'm coming in double. Huh, shouldn't be doing that. Check, check. No, that's not it. I mean, we can mute that just to be sure. What do we got? We got a Svella Ice Shaper coming in for opponent, and a Pirate of Heroes over there. Those are pretty cool. And that'll bring it to our turn 3. We can turn off this stop right here. Let's get the Mokokoro into play before something happens. Who are we looking at commander-wise? Faltis and Essior and Asika. I think Asika's getting attacked. Attack zombie. We get a treasure. Oh, you had me open twice. All right. So the audio is good now, right? Just want to double check that everything sounds nice and crystal clear. Anyway, we poke them for 2, we get our treasure. So here's an interaction that I'm excited about, and that's Inspiring Statuary. Non-artifact spells we control will have Improvise, which means we can tap our treasures for mana without actually spending them. And yeah, that just seems exciting to me. Cool, everything's sounding good. That's what I like to hear. So anyway, the goal with this deck is to create 5 treasures, and then we can sacrifice them and search our library for a dragon or an artifact. And in this case, we're probably going to get Maskwood Nexus pretty early on in the scheme of things and give our creatures all creature types. And then we have a whole bunch of wild shenanigans that we can do when all of our creatures are all creature types. We see a Scourge of Valkus in hand, and we see a Goblin Chieftain, and there's a whole bunch of other tribal effects like that that should be pretty awesome if Mask is in play. Oh no, a propaganda. Oh, we have so few ways to deal with that propaganda. Looks like Meteor Golem is it. I think that's the only one. What was the first 2-mana legendary I thought was playable for Commander? I had an Ashling the Pilgrim deck for years. 10 years ago, it was much better than it is now. It's a pretty slow deck, and it's super mana hungry. It's one of the most mana hungry decks I've ever seen, but Ashling's the first one that's coming to mind for me, but there's been other ones. I've seen like Slowbad the Tinkerer. You can do like a weird artifact thing with that. I don't know if it's great, but it definitely beat me one time a long time ago, so that happened. Akiri Lineslinger is definitely like a good 2-mana commander. That thing is just highly aggressive, gets huge in a hurry. It can do a lot of tricks with stuff like Springleaf Drum, things like that too. I don't play a ton of 2-mana commanders. I tend to like my commanders a little bit bigger. Kind of that old school mindset, but there's definitely some good ones like Thrasios, kind of insane. Who else? There's got to be a few other partners that are like that now, I would have to imagine. What up, Jason? You just got off a brutal shift at work? Some Commander replay is in order? Love it. What do we draw? Thorncaster Sliver. Sliver creatures you control have, whenever this creature attacks, it deals 1 damage to any target. Yep. Need to start working our way to that Maskwood Nexus. Let's play a mountain. We will... Yeah, let's just go on the attack. There's 2-4 over there. Kind of scary for us. We'll attack zombie again. Get a treasure token. Next steps. I think Thran Dynamo seems good. Yeah, Thran Dynamo feels fine to me. Get that ramp going. Anything to do with 3 doesn't look like it. Pass turn like that. Next turn we might like activate a Makokoro or something like that. We'll see what we draw. Opponent played a Forging the Tyrite Sword, so they're getting themselves some treasure tokens. Prismatic Bridge coming into play for opponent. Oh yeah, Skullbriar was a solid 2-mana commander. Until someone played Black Sun Zenith. And then you never recast your commander. Opponent's on the Prismatic Bridge. We'll see what they're up to. Hopefully this is a more chill rendition of the Prismatic Bridge, because you can just go for the biggest, nastiest things in the game if you want. Hopefully they're not doing that. Ooh, opponent's going to put a Bloodthirsty Blade on our Magda. So it's going to be a 4-1, and it's going to be goated. It's not the most ideal. Opponent casts their commander, Essior, Wardwing Familiar, coming in. It's got Shroud and Haste, and it's got some boots on it. Opponent going to poke over to zombie. Do I have the Titan of the Eternal Fire combo in this deck? I don't know what that combo is. What is it? Is it a standard combo? I haven't been following standard at all, so if there's new standard stuff coming out, I am not up on it. I've heard Tybalt's Trickery has been making quite the splash in Modern. Opponents is going to Reclaiming Vines on this Propaganda. Love it. Love it. Bloodthirsty Blade still means we can't swing in over there, unfortunately, but what can you do? That's a Blasphemous Act. Some of the small amounts of removal in this deck. Not a ton of removal here. We'll swing into KO one time just to change up the pace a little bit. Third treasure. 2 more to go. I'm going to activate the Makokoro. Now's a good time to draw a card. There's a Labyrinth of Scophos. Yeah, that might be handy. We got 1 floating. What can we do with it? No, actually we can cast some of this stuff. Yeah, it's probably about time. Cast the Goblin Chieftain. Maybe we just go straight for Scourge. Let's get the Scourge of Valkus. Why not? Got 1 floating, and then we can improvise with an artifact. Yeah, how about that? We'll tap some treasures. Love it. Scourge of Valkus, 1 damage to a target. We'll hit Pauper since he's kind of well defended. Then we can play a mountain. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we don't control that one. Yeah, that seems fine. Pass like that. Prismatic bridge trigger for our opponent. Let's see what they hit. Ifara. Looks like God Tribal. Search your library for a card named Halvar, God of Battle, or an equipment. Reveal it. Put it into your hand. Interesting. You know, I might have to give that thing a look. Initially, I had wrote it off as like maybe a little bit too slow, and if you draw it late in the game, it certainly will be, but early in the game, Halvar is a pretty good card, and you basically cast it, get some mana back on it. I don't know. We'll see. It's weird tempo-wise. I think it's a weird tempo card, but there are certainly worse things to be doing. Oh, opponent plays a Kefnet, then sacrifices it to the Pyre of Heroes. Yep. What god do they want? What up, John? All right, so the combo is Magda plus Maskwood Nexus plus Titan of Eternal Fire plus Battered Golem equal infinite damage to any targets. No, we're not running that combo today. This is just a fun little all tribal kind of deck. What up, Deploy? Got some old school friends in the house. We got Falthus Shadowcat Familiar coming in. Commanders you control have Menace and Death Touch. Put the boots on it. It's got haste. Commander's Plate. Yep. Oh, Umezawa's Jite. That's a pretty serious card. See what opponent wants to do. Swing over to zombie. Yeah, God Tribal. A little bit scary. Oh, they're on a Teralf now? That shuts off our Blasphemous Act. Makes life terrible. It's not great. What up, Ada? What up, Todd? So many shoutouts in that deck. So many shoutouts. Let's see what KO's got for us. What's he even playing today? He's playing Svella Ice Shaper. What does this thing even do? Create a colorless snow artifact token named Icy Manalith. Add 1 mana of any color. Pay 8. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may cast a spell from among them without paying its mana cost. Rest on the bottom in a random order. Ramp into big stuff? I don't know. That's what I would do with it. This is Dimir Voltron, by the way, being piloted by Pauper. Ooh, that's a Seaborn Muse. Gross. That's disgusting. So they'll untap every turn. Seems pretty good to me. Wow. That seems so good. Well, we'll find out if opponents have removal, because that's definitely the place you spend it. Okay, we're bringing out the big guns. Ooh, that's a Bonder's Enclave. That's pretty cool, actually. Play the Bonder's Enclave. We can get some card draw going this turn. All about the card draw. I doubt they trade this Teralf with our Magda, so I guess we go that way. Uh-oh. KO's doing stuff. He's got feelings. Activate Svella. What's he getting? Return to nature on Bloodthirsty Blade. That's cool. Oh, I was going to use that. Oh, I was going to use that to... Oh wait, we can't we cannot swing that way. Yeah, okay. I guess that works. Thank you, KO. This thread being invaded by Commander by my in real life friends, FYI. Yeah. I got a bunch of old school IRL friends hanging out in the chat. How about some thumbs up for the IRL friends hanging out? No attacks right there. They're all kind of bad. Question is now, how do we get the last of our treasures? I don't know. Let's start drawing cards. See what that gets us. Do I want to blow the board up? I don't really want to blow the board up. No, definitely not with the Terralf in play. Activate the Makokoro. It's a Dragon Tempest. Sweet card. Activate Vonder's Enclave. We draw Gadrock. Is interesting. Yeah, let's cast a Gadrock. Can improvise with this thing. Oh, could have gave it haste, so I guess it doesn't matter that much. Hey, it's a dragon. 2 damage to a target. What can we shoot? Nothing terribly interesting there. Oh, if I play the Dragon Tempest first. Whoops! That was a punt. Should have did that the other way around. I guess we just shoot someone in the face. Zombie in the face. Then Dragon Tempest. And we'll pass like that. Magic Gaze has a video on why Tibalt Trickery is good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up. I've heard people talking about it, but I haven't actually like witnessed the thing yet. I've heard people say you just get some big dumb thing on like turn 2. What up, Ronald? We are live. Yes, we are. True to live form, I've already got one punt going. Yeah, because if we went for this first, we could have shot the Seedborn Muse, but I guess he did us a favor by shooting the Bloodthirsty Blade, so that's something. Oh, by the way, he gets himself a Cosmina, got a Voyage off the Prismatic Bridge trigger. Maskwood Nexus into the Wolf? The Whirl Tree. Ah, I see. Oh yeah, that'd be silly, right? Everything becomes a god. Prison Realm. Enters battlefield. Exile target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield. I think it's got to be Seedborn Muse, right? No. Goes for the Scourge of Valkus. Rude. Well, that is unfortunate. Okay, we're going to activate the thing again. Mono Red Tribal. Yes, indeed. Gets a Soul Ring. Seems pretty underwhelming for that ability. Paying 8 for a Soul Ring. Is that random? Cast the spell from among them. Look at the top 4. I guess that's the best thing he had in the top 4. Yeah, that's underwhelming for 8, but Seedborn Muse. Pretty crazy. Yeah, Magda is a really cool card. Whenever a dwarf you control becomes tapped, create a treasure token, sacrifice 5 treasures, search for an artifact or a dragon. That's so good. I can't even begin to explain how good that is. Opponent sacrifices a Tyralf. That's good news for us. Blasphemous Act is back online. Getting, Turgrid. Turgrid's not great. What's toughness on that thing? 5? Ugh. What up, Matt? Thanks. Have a good day at work. Afara and Svella triggers. Swift End on the Seedborn Muse. Yeah, that needed to happen. Ooh, I think that's going to get us some thingies with Gadrock. That will be ideal. Pizza, you going to work too? Everyone going to work? Why is everyone working on a Friday night? That's party time. Even though parties aren't a thing anymore. Makes me sad. Love to like go out to dinner or a movie or something. Anything out of the house. Tomer has a tribal deck. Yeah, I've had one for a while too. I played it like, oh god, probably 2.5 years ago. I'm definitely going to do an updated version of it very, very soon because of Maskwood Nexus. Ooh, opponent's going to shoot our Bonder's Enclave. That's rude. Ouch. Losing a land. Don't love it. Gadrock only triggers on our end step? Your end step. Oh, that's unfortunate. We could like Blasphemous Act, and that would give us a bunch of treasures, but I don't know. With the Seedborn Muse gone, there's not really Blasphemous Act material out there. I guess the Turgid's a little scary. This one has like so much text on it that I think it's like landfall put counters on it, more or less, but way more complicated than it had to be. Well, that makes this card way less good if it only triggers during your turn. Have I seen the Wayne's World Uber Eats advertisement? No, I don't think I have, actually. I'm going to have to look that one up. It features Cardi B. You died a little. Nice. Opponent suits up. The fault is going on the attack into Chaotix. What up, Poison? Is everyone playing Tribal? We're playing Tribal. Zombie is playing Tribal. KO is, doing his normal tricks over there. He's got Svella Ice Shaper. Had a Seedborn Muse a moment ago, but it just got shot very recently. Where'd it go? Was it exiled? Oh, it's back. He found it. I don't even know how he got it back. How do you get that back? Seedborn Muse. Fun. Does this deck run Hammer of Nazan? No, but I was thinking about it because Hammer of Nazan is a really cool thing to search up at instant speed with Magda. If I was going more Voltron-esque, I would most definitely run that. You could basically build like mono red legendary blades if you wanted to. Go something like that. It's a little bit harder. It's not quite as clean as to say, but I did think a lot about Hammer of Nazan. Cultivate for opponent. This is sacrifice, right? Whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a card. Yep, seems bad. We should probably get rid of that. Well, we found the Maskwood Nexus. I do believe things are about to get silly. Play this land. Let's see. How do we do this? So if we go like... yeah, I think this... Oh, this is going to get so wild. Play Maskwood Nexus. It's in. I think the next thing we need is like Meteor Golem. Meteor Golem would kill that, give us back our thing, and then we would end up with like a whole bunch of damage triggers. Meteor Golem's going to be a little bit expensive though. Ooh. Or maybe we go about it with the slivers. We get a bunch of 1 damage triggers. Does it say token or non-token? Yeah, maybe we go for the small stuff, but ooh. No, I'm just going to go for Meteor Golem. Let's do it. I think it's going to cost like most of our mana. Oh, right. We have to pay full price too. Gross. Does that cost extra? Why does that cost so much? 7? Am I miscounting? Yeah, we'll wait on Meteor Golem. That seems like a lot. Seems like a lot. Play the Goblin Chieftain. We'll improvise. Oh, when we attack, we'll get a bunch of treasures. That works. KO can activate Svella. Rishkar's expertise, that's some card draw. Eric is right. Hit that thumbs up button. Help me beat the algorithm. Primal Command. Uh-oh. I'm not going to like where this is going. Target player shuffles a graveyard. Search your library for a creature. Okay, that's fine. He's not doing the one that gets rid of the permanent. Searching for a creature. Chieftain coming in. Who thumbs down the video? Yeah, I don't know. Someone thumbs down the video. They're like, nope, this isn't for me. Oh, Dragon Tempest trigger. How many dragons do we have? Is that 3 We have 3 dragons. That's kind of cool. Start working on some of these gods. Maybe we get rid of this Turgid. That seems like could be a good idea. We'll put 3 on the Turgid. Zombie's got feelings. He's gonna frostbite. What? Oh no! But why? Deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker if it's snow. 3? Okay. Unfortunate. Magda to the command zone. Recast Magda? Cast, improvise, improvise, improvise. We're doing the thing, and it's pretty awesome. Recast Magda. Dragon Tempest, shoot the Turgid. Turgid down. Let's be a big old no thanks on that one. Let's do some attacking. Can we attack with this one? Yeah, we can. How many treasures does it need? Control four or more. Oh, four more artifacts. Yeah, we got four artifacts. Sweet. That into KO. This is the haste one. How big is this thing? It's a 2/4. Yeah. Oh my god, I have an idea. I have an idea. Swing this into KO. Swing this into zombie. That's going to give us a bunch of treasures, and then we can sack the treasures and do something absolutely wild. So let's do it. Here we go. Go into combat. 3 Magda triggers. Auto those. Then let's see if opponents want to block. Actually, no, let's not even risk it. I'm just going to go straight for it. That'll be, what, 4 damage to each thing? Yeah. Activate the ability. Sacrifice 5 treasures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get. This is the big trick. Where is it? It's the big flourish. Oh, where'd it go? It's one of the giants. Thundercloud Shaman. Dragon Tempest and Thundercloud Shaman trigger. Let's see. That's going to be 4 giants. Anything with 5 toughness? That does not have 5 toughness. No, I think that's just gonna burn everyone down a bit. Shoot zombie in the face. Blow up all the stuff. Dragon Tempest trigger. Oh, this deck is so fun when it works. It's so glassy, though. 1 piece of artifact removal. And then all the cards in our deck are really bad. All right, we need a thumbs up for the Thunderclaw for the Thundercloud Shaman, because that was cool. That worked exactly how I wanted it to. One-sided board wipe. All right, I have to say this without my phone going off, but my phone's totally going to go off when I say this. Siri, play Thunderstruck by AC/DC. Oh, that was fun. Should we go for the overcommits? No, I think we're already overcommitted enough. See if opponents have a board wipe. They probably do. Get, oh, a bunch of treasures. Yeah. We killed a lot of stuff, too. 8 treasures. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Prismatic Bridge trigger for our opponent. Oh, we have so many cool things we can search up with those 8 treasures. One might be an Immortal Sun, though. We should probably get some card draw somewhere, just in case the worst should happen. So by the way, this deck was based on Chaotix design. Oh no, Assassin's Trophy. Oh, do we have anything for that? I don't think we have anything for that. Not great. Hold on. Oh, you know what we should have did? We should have grabbed Nullspine Dragon at the end step to draw a million cards. Oh, what are we using to get rid of that? Are we just getting some? Do we have any other cool tribal effects? No, we're probably going to let that go. Got the metal version of Assassin's Trophy. Use the ability. Get a land back. Never allowed to have fun. We had fun that turn. That was a one-sided board wipe into getting pretty far ahead of our opponents, so that was still very cool. Opponent's gonna sack and go get something with Pyre of Heroes. They sacked a Red Dane, I think. Anyway, KO said that I convinced him on the Inspiring Statuary. Yeah, really getting a lot of extra mana out of the Inspiring Statuary, so that is super cool. Also thought about trying to run Gear Report Ether Grid in the deck, because this could also turn into a lot of removal, and that could be helpful. It's just difficult being disciplined to like not run all the fun stuff and actually still get some removal in the deck and things like that. Got some God triggers for opponent. Mogus and Afara triggering. I think that means we need an artifact or a dragon that brings back artifacts from your graveyard. I think that's what we need in this deck so that we can, like, if this happens, we have a bunch of treasures we can sack and go get something that'll bring it right back. Gonna have to work on that. I guess the real... Ooh, that's a damnation. Yeah, I was worried about something like that. Use Magda. Sacrifice 5 treasures. Think I'm just gonna get an Immortal Sun. Junk Diver. Great thinking. Great thinking. Is that the one on ETB or on Death? I can't remember. Back to the command zone. Because there's going to be like a weird timing issue there. Goblin Welder. So the thing is, yeah, Goblin Welder would work. Because you could get it beforehand and then just sacrifice another thing. Goblin Welder is actually probably pretty good because hopefully you have treasures lying around. Trading Post might be a good piece. Yeah, Trading Post is a solid card too. That's one to look at. Junk Diver's on Death. Okay. Mirror Retriever works as well. You got to be careful the ETB one just because of timing issues. So like if the removal spell's on the stack, you still need the Changeling ability in your deck, and if it hasn't actually gone to the graveyard yet, an ETB won't have the right timing. So, but yeah, the retrievers would work. I put it into ready, so it's just a matter of trying to draw into ready, but maybe it's better to have that ability in creature form. Svella back into play with the Zendikar Resurgent. Those are pretty good. Ooh, no, Reclamation Sage. What's this going after? Don't be the Immortal Sun. I mean, I think it's the best target. Going after the Immortal Sun makes me sad. Makes me very, very sad. Well, we're probably going to have to shoot his Zendikar Resurgent then. Workshop Assistant and Scrap Mastery. Scrap Mastery is cool, but Scrap Mastery is a little bigger than you need. I think you just want something like small and efficient for what this deck is doing. Opponent gets back the Seedborn Muse again. Again. Seedborn Muse, it's back. Gross. We'll draw at the end step with Makokoro. Nullspine Dragon. Fun card. Kind of wanted that one for the instant speeds, but what can you do? Mogus Trigger. Down to 38. KO doing more stuff. Yep. Ooh, Ancient Grudge on our Inspiring Statuary, not letting us have any fun. That's on the upkeep. Anything we can do with Flash? Nope. Nope, that's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Down that goes. The removal getting us. The removal is getting us. Slow Bad does protect Nexus, doesn't it? Ooh, they're going to flash it back? Really? Don't even shoot the Thrandine. Oh, shooting Jit. Okay. I'm fine shooting Jit. Jit is cool. Shared Animosity. Well, that's a lot less good without the mask. Play the Meteor Golem. I think Seedmore Muse is the more immediate threat. Probably need to get our commander back. How much is it? 6? Ugh. Oh, that's so much. That is so much. That is all of our treasures? I don't really want to. Man, it's going to take so long to build those treasures back up. What else can we do? Losing the Inspiring Statuary, that really hurts. I guess just place... actually, you know what? I think I just want to draw. Draw with Makokoro. Springleaf Drum. Not worth sacking a treasure for that. Pass like that. I haven't posted the list for this yet. I will do that at some point. Potentially between games. We'll take a quick peek at it. Looks something like this. So a lot of 3-drops in the deck. There was a lot of tribal lord stuff that exists at 3. So there's a lot going on there. Really had to make some tough cuts. Then we got a couple artifacts that are cool to grab. Cage Sun, Immortal Sun. I imagine that a lot of the time grabbing those will probably be like toward the top of your priority. If you have Maskwood Nexus, you can play this Death Bellow Warcry, which is fun. Any 4 creatures from your deck. I'm not sure there's so many Minotaurs. There's a couple Changelings in the deck, so without it, it's going to be a little bit underwhelming. Got some dragons that are useful for some stuff. Utvara Hellkite. So when Maskwood goes down, the plan is just kind of like bad dragon deck is kind of what this turns into. Burning Rune Demon enters the battlefield. Search for exactly 2 cards not named Burning Rune Demon. Reveal those. An opponent choose one. Put one in the hand, the other in the graveyard. God Pharaoh statue to the graveyard. That's a nasty one. Paradox Haze. Ew. KO making popsicles? Yeah. Uh-oh. Maskwood Nexus for opponent. You know, I thought about putting Hellkite Tyrant in here, and that would be handy right now to go steal it from our opponent. Mogus Trigger. Down to 21. No fair, yeah. They get to have one, we don't. Makes me sad. So I think there's definitely some combo lines you can do with this whole Maskwood Nexus thing. I know there's the Infinite with Batter Golem, which like if you're into like 4-card infinites, that's fine. But what I would probably do is try to get Maskwood online and then start looking at a bunch of extra combats with something like Marog. And then every time your creatures go to combat, they'll get to untap. And if they're all creature types, then they'll be spitting out treasures like crazy. So you can kind of keep looping that. And that should get wild. That should be a cool little line. Not really infinite, but just fun and interesting. How'd you miss the demon from spoilers? Yeah, there's a lot of cool cards in this set. And, I think especially with like so many cool gods, it's easy to miss stuff. I didn't really even see this one that much either. I've just started seeing it in the past day or two. Fault is back to play. I don't know if they revealed the other card. Maybe the other card was Paradox Haze. That would make sense. Yeah, with all the new stuff, who can keep up anyway? I do this full time and I can't stay on top of everything. So many cards coming out all the time. Yeah, God Tribal is getting better as a deck. Many more tools than there ever used to be, especially like the new. Oh, that's not a god, but the newer gods that don't require devotion. That's super handy when you need a lot of devotion. It's not the easiest thing to do to have like that much devotion in multiple colors. It's super slow. I mean, when it gets online, you have a bunch of indestructible creatures that are really hard to deal with, but it takes a long time to get to that point. Reanimator player, you missed it. That is an ETB. That is not a cast trigger. So yeah, that is very strong. If you're yeah, if you want to do some reanimating stuff, I'm sure there's a whole bunch of ways to break that card. Pick a combo that has some sort of redundancy to it, and I'm sure it's going to be a very good time. Ooh, Urabrass coming in. He draws another card. Deuce of Calamity. Deal 6 or more damage to an opponent. Destroy target land that player controls. There's one you don't see a lot of. Oh, and it's got haste. Where does he want to send that? Ravenous Baboons. Enters the battlefield. Destroy target non-basic land. I'd prefer it wasn't one of ours. It's one of ours. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, we're getting bled with removal now. We've taken what? We got hit with the board wipe, that's fine, but we've lost Maskwood, Immolating the Immortal Sun, Inspiring Statuary, and Labyrinth, the spot removal. Oh, and a land. That's a lot of things to give up. That is a lot of things to give up. It is hard to win through that much removal, so I don't know, we probably Blasphemous Act. But like, he's got his Zendikar Resurgence, so if he just keeps casting stuff, doesn't even matter that much. Am I running Buried Rune? Yes, I am. Buried Rune. Can only hope to draw into it. Also a Duretti. But he blew up the Immortal Sun, so that was the card draw that we badly needed. What up, Drinko? Drinko? Did I get that right? I don't know if I got that right. Bala get recovery, getting back the Seedborn Muse. Oh my god. This deck. Draws a card. Now the problem is that like our thing is gone. It's going to be tough for us to impact the board. Deuce of Calamity coming our way. We're going to have to block. Definitely don't want to be taking 6 damage from that. Brings back to our turn. Mogus trigger. Brass's bounty, you say. For each land you control. Well, we've been losing lands at a pretty steady clip. So that's not ideal. Only got 6 lands. It's not the best. How much is Blasphemous Act right now? It is 2. Yeah, I mean, we're probably starting with the Blasphemous Act. Yeah, let's start with the Blasphemous Act. Blow up the board. I'd say get Magda. Actually, probably get the Brass's bounty first. Man, I really miss the Inspiring Statuary. Oh, this would be so good if we had the Inspiring Statuary. There's 9 treasures. It's going to be 6 to get that in. We'd have to sacrifice all of our treasures. That's not great. I'll get the Springleaf Drum in right now. Although, oh, you know what? Tapping that one time gets us to a 10th treasure. Maybe we're not going to do that. Yep. Pass like that. Prismatic Bridge, Paradox Haze. Sea God's Scorn. Return up to 3 target creatures or enchantments to their owner's hand. Zendikar Resurgent would be a good target. Artifact Recursion is your friend. Yeah, I've got a little bit. We probably need another piece of Artifact Recursion in the deck. What bugs me, though, is losing the lands. I hate losing the lands. We've lost, what, 2 at least? Why did he not bounce a Zendikar Resurgent in there? Meteor Golem. Zendikar Resurgent? Zendikar Resurgent. Thank God. Get rid of that. Cut off the mana. Ada says, I mentioned that White's win cons are sorcery speed and can be answered at sorcery speed, but that's very White in flavor. It is, but it's bad from a gameplay standpoint. Like, I get why it happens for flavor reasons, but, you know, if Entreat the Angels or Starnheim Unleashed is an instant, like, it's immediately an insanely good White card, and the fact that it's a sorcery means that it's a really underwhelming White card. It's, you know, it's not that you can't run it, but it's not great. Like, the way this game's going now, there's just removal flying every turn. So, like, you know, if we coughed out a bunch of angels, they would just get blown up. It wouldn't really matter that much. And especially, like, with the value of Paradox Haze and the Prismatic Bridge, they can just go way over the top of the amount of damage that we'd be doing. That's a Feast and Famine. And some boots. They're going to put that on there. I hope they spot KO as the threat, because he's been going kind of wild. There's the boots. Sinew and Steel. Wrong order. It'll be tough to get that equipped with that another creature. Yep, going into KO. Just wants to keep reanimating that Seedborn Muse. That'll get you killed. Feast and Famine. Silas Wren. Get back the Jit. Jite? Jit? New set should have at least 2 blocks. Yeah, I agree. I agree. For the revisits, I don't mind a single set, especially when they're kind of continuing like previously existing mechanics. But when you're an entirely new block and there's a bunch of cool new mechanics, new flavor, 2 sets would be cool. You can't always get everything done in one set, and I don't know, certain mechanics, like the rune mechanic in Kaldheim. There's how many runes are there? Is there just the 5? Like, you built the set of cards to go like search for these things or whatever, and then there's you're talking about a mechanic that exists on like what 5 or 10 cards, and just pretty underwhelming. If there was a second set where like there could be like a rare or mythic rare rune, that'd be cool. So yeah, I don't know. There's definitely problems with the one set block, but I think it also helps with the hype train a lot. Yeah, 2 sets would give the mechanics room to breathe. Also the themes. You know what mechanic I really liked a lot that could use more cards is Investigate. Because that was only in the first set of that block, and there could be more of them. Notably, I think there's only really the one in white, which is the one drop there. But cool cards like Ongoing Investigation and stuff like that. There could be a few more Investigate cards. I'd like to see that mechanic again. Mina and Den. KO doesn't usually do all the ramp, but he's been doing all the ramp this game. Not usually his style of play. Oh, Terastodon. Well, we don't have really that many threatening things. There's a bunch of swords, a bunch of gods. Hopefully he's blown up all that stuff. 3 swords. Works for me. I would have shot a Paradox Haze and a Prismatic Bridge in there, too, honestly, but KO has somehow made himself the archenemy. Unusual, because usually I'm the archenemy. This is a weird place for me to be. I'm not the threat. He's going to draw a card. Valakut Awakening going to cycle some cards. Yep. Divining Top. He's a bit exposed. Zombie's got a board state. Mogis Trigger. Down to 31. Rageblood Shaman. Trample. Other Minotaur creatures you control have +1/+1 and trample. So I think we can recast our commander. It's going to be 6 mana. Rough. Oh, I love to draw with the Mokokoro, but we got to get the Springleaf Drum in. Anything we can do with we'd have like 2 mana? Oh yeah, perfect. We can tap this, make a mana, tap that. That'll make a treasure to draw with the Makokoro. Perfect. It's a mountain. I was hoping to hit that land drop. Turn 10, we're on what? That's 6, 7, 7 lands? Yeah, losing a bunch of our lands has hurt a lot. And we can sacrifice and get 2 things as we need to. So we'll probably do that. We need to go back to Phyrexia? Yeah, that definitely needs to happen at some point. I want a new Koth card. I liked Koth. Also, I like the Leonin, and I want more Leonin and swords. 2 things that I want. Bottom line, more Phyrexians. They need the, like, Phyrexians versus Eldrazi versus Slivers plane. Let's go to that plane. No need to go to Phyrexia. It will come to us. Yeah, you're probably right. Am I planning on building a cold deck? Yeah, very soon. One of my Patreons has been playing one, and it's like pretty consistent turn 6 through 8 combo. It looks very cool. Also, probably needs to go in all my equipment decks. There's so many cards for equipment decks now. It's like overwhelming to try and build an equipment deck and still run all the ramp and removal that you need to run. Rise of the Dark Realms. Well, oh man, I think I forgot. Oh, nope, that's the Swan Song. Thank God. That is a Swan Song. I think I forgot to put a Homeward Path in the deck. Homeward Path, perfect for Rise of the Dark Realms. I'm going to double check the wording on Udvara Hellkite because I think it might come up very soon. Whenever a dragon you control attacks, so that's only on attack, that's not an ETB. Tyrant's Familiar is a cool card also if when you start blowing some stuff up. Corvat, nope, we lost the Knight's ability. Yeah, a lot of these might be underwhelming. Lathlas is a cool card. It can get us some power on the board. There's a Kaya in play now. They did something with it. Speaking of, have I seen any new insane Sunforger targets? Yeah, to Bolt's Trickery. You can have a counterspell now. There's probably some other ones, but that's a big one. A card that has jumped onto my radar recently that I'm running in this deck right now is Bolt Bend. It's like a budget deflecting swat. It's 4 mana, but if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, it's 1 red, and you can change the target of a spell or ability. So that's pretty handy. And so I'm not saying that I would run it everywhere, but, you know, especially like if you're needing that deflecting swat roll, it's a great way to get it on a budget. Or if you're playing like mono red, and because in Boros you have a lot of options. You have Faith Shield and Teferi's Protection and like all kinds of protection effects. In mono red, you don't have that many options. Opponent sending them some stuff our way? Rude. Menace? Oh, they all have Menace. Well, we're just going to hold on to our stuff then. We could block, but we're still at 31. Unless they're planning to flash down something big, then I'm not too worried about it. Well, we've had counter spells in red, yeah, but it was red elemental blast, blue elemental blast. Now it's counter any spell, right? Like that Rise of the Dark Realms, you can counter that if you want to. Torment of Hellfire, no big deal. Expropriate, sure. You know, along with Cyclonic Rift and every other thing that you would normally counter with red elemental blast and so on. Lapse of Certainty really isn't my favorite. Mana Tithe, people generate too much mana now. It's too easy to circumvent Mana Tithe now. Teferi's Protection is often like a really good counterspell. Doesn't actually stop the spell, but it generally stops the spell from like hurting you or interacting with you in any way. It's not quite the same, but lives in a similar space. You should see if I can get on game nights. Yeah, I'd love to go on game nights. I don't know though. It's gonna be tough. They have a really tight filming schedule. I mean, I think at this point they're probably only really filming with people in California, and I'm not in California because like travel restrictions and stuff. I think that's kind of a big deal for them. So maybe someday, but probably not soon. Even though it would be really cool. Opponents can activate the Pyre of Heroes. Yeah, I can't wait to mess around with Pyre of Heroes myself. Can't wait to put that in the Angel deck. Go get that Ameria Shepherd. Imp's Mischief? Oh, yeah. Imp's Mischief is not a Sunforger target, but a cool card nonetheless. Dreadbore on Silas. Works for me. Maskwood making 2/2 Changeling. Yeah, the extra turn series would be cool. Did they do webcam on that? I don't know. I haven't watched that many of them. I've only seen one or two. I got about halfway into the new game nights. I don't get tons of time to watch everyone else's content. I can usually watch for about 20 minutes. There's like part of the editing I do where I can just have something else up on screen and then kind of watch some stuff. And then there's the second half of the editing where I have to be very, very focused on what I'm doing. So once I get to that part, I have to turn off whatever's on. And usually that's like, 20, 30 minutes. So if not getting all the way through an episode of Game Nights with that. Jit on the Elephant. Gonna whip the Silas back to play. Yep. Oh, hey, all the dragons will have haste. That'll be cool. Most of the extra turns people are staff. Yeah, that's fair. Is Tybalt's Trickery $7? Yeah, I definitely want to buy them. I think they're going to go up, but I can't tell if they're going to go down and then go up or like what the case is. It's kind of a tough call. $7 is not the cheapest pre-order price. I think it's a rare. It's not a mythic, if I'm not mistaken. Is it a mythic? We'll look that one up on the Scry Falls. Opponent swinging into the Planeswalker super hard. Works for me. It's a rare. Current price is about $6. Yeah, especially if they go below 5. I'm definitely a buyer below 5 on Tybalt's Trickery. 7 is still a bit. Safest thing to do is buy 1 or 2 and then make sure you have them just in case they go up. So opponent slams into all this stuff, does some blocking, counters on the Jit. Does the thing go down? It did not. In play, still with 6 loyalty. That's the end of Pauper's turn. We just need KO to tap out, and I'm going to feel pretty good about what we're doing. Mogus trigger. If it gets banned, it might drop. I don't know that they're going to ban it right at the start. Um, it seems like they don't want to ban the new card right away if they don't have to. So I would be wary about a ban right from the onset. You know, maybe in 6 months, sure, but because that depends. That means that like the metas for whatever formats it's breaking can't evolve to handle that deck, and especially in something like modern. In modern, I imagine there is some 1 mana answer that'll stop a Debolt's Trickery. So people are casting turn 2 Emrakul. Yeah. Like what would you use to stop that? You could stop that with a Thalia, probably. Most hate bears, most of the hate bears that exist probably stop that from happening. Yeah, you counter your own spell with the Tybalt's Trickery and then get an Emrakul. I haven't worked out the math on exactly how all of that works, but it seems very good. Swan Song in Modern, there you go. Graph Digger's Cage stops it. Yep. So yeah, it getting banned would assume that these decks that there isn't a way you can interact with it profitably and stop that from happening. Graph Digger's Cage, great answer for a lot of different problems. Opponent gaining some life with the Umazawas right there. KO getting set up again with the Sphella Ice Shaper. What cool dragons can we get? We can get 2 cards. What are we getting? Almost thinking about like a Cage Sun. Oh, Tyrant's Familiar? I think I got Tyrant's Familiar just for this situation. Laughless, also cool. Ooh, Laughless seems really good. Laughless and Uvara Hellkite, I think, is probably where we're at. Is Containment Priest modern legal? I don't know off the top of my head. Anyone know? Someone says yes with the M21 reprint. Vengeful Rebirth. Bringing back the Primal Command. Oh, what's happening? Why is this being targeted? I don't understand what's happening. Return target card from your graveyard. If you return a non-land, deals damage equals that card's... Oh, we're blowing up the thing? You can't blow up the thing. Okay. Looks like we're doing our thing then. Sacrifice 5 treasures. 1. Oop. Do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get Latless. 2 Dragon Tempest triggers. 1 for haste, 1 for damage. Shoot this Seedborn Muse. Sacrifice 5 more treasures. Get Udvara Hellkite. That triggers Laughless. Put the Laughless trigger... Oh, nope, I did that wrong. I want to do that the other way. Whoops. Dragon Tempest, there's a trigger for 2. And then we can get with 2. Keep that off ultimating. How big is that? That's a 3. Yeah, let's ping that. Dragon Tempest. Laughless trigger. Another thing, shoot the Seedborn Muse this time. This is the standard dragon finish that we're going for. This is how dragon decks win the game. Laughless and the Ur Dragon. Magda back to the command zone. And everyone's just about out of mana. Only 1 card left for Pauper and colorless mana. I feel good about this. Mogus trigger. Nope. 2 damage. Pirate's Pillage, we can live without that. So I think what I'm going to do is Shared Animosity and then probably Nullspine Dragon is where I'm at. Play the Shared Animosity. And then we'll just discard the other stuff. So each dragon will get +2/+0. We should send one over to KO, make sure that he dies. We have exactly 7 left. We can get an 8th mana with the Utvara Hellkite trigger. We'll get some damage off the Dragon Tempest triggering. Yeah, that seems like the plan. Let's do it. This thing into KO, this thing into zombie, this thing into zombie. See if we can take zombie out. It's gonna be tough though. How much is that? That's 11. We'll get 2 triggers. Oh, the 2 triggers, that'll be like 10 damage though. Oh, that's kind of serious. Yep, do that. Oh, those are some triggers. Shared Animosity on the bottom. Dragon Tempest is going to trigger. Shoot zombie. Shoot zombie again. More Dragon Tempest triggers. KO is going to be at 1. We got to figure out how we're going to get that 1 damage. Keep... Oh, zombie scooped. Oops, Scourge of Alcus is back. There we go. Use that on KO. Scourge of Alcus triggers Laughless. Yep, there it is. Okay. All the stuff happening now. And it's freaking out. Close that. Zombie says GG making dinner. Yep, that's definitely game. Who's up for game 2? It keeps triggering. It keeps going. More Scourge of Ulcus. There's so many triggers happening. So here's the thing, too. You could skip all the nonsense we're doing and just tutor for these 3 dragons, and you'll probably win the game if that happens. This is how the dragons deck usually wins, so yeah, you could just go straight for this and not mess around with Maskwood Nexus at all. Though it's fun. Yep, down they all go. I can't believe we won that. I really thought we were out of that game. But the Brass's bounty into 10 treasures and to get 2 dragons, getting Utvara Hellkite and Lathless with the Dragon Tempest in play, getting back the Scourge of Ulcus. That's how you win a game. We got Mango. All right, what do you guys want to see? Do you guys want to see more Halvar, or do you want to see more, who's it called? The green guy, Vorinclex. Let me know. Play some mono white, or we can play some mono green. I'll check on the Discord chat real quick. Game 2, waiting on chat to decide. So many triggers. What is this, Tumblr? Nice. We got 2 for Halvar. Yeah, I can try and post the list right now. Let's see if we can... You guys can see how the magic is made. First, we export this. I think we actually may have already done that, but... Do that. Go to... No one look at that. Tapped out. Find where I put the deck list. Copy the deck list. Create a deck. Put that in there. Do that. Got a couple Halvars. One for Vorinclex. Hailphyrexia. Magda, Maskwood, Nexus, Silliness. Commander. All tribes. Save that. Wait for that to update. Mono blue for once. I don't think I have anything good mono blue built right now. Everything needs to be updated. I was looking at Orvar today and trying to think about how I was going to build that. So that'll be coming soon. It's really taking a long time to do its thing. There's a deck list. Do that. Okay, I'm going to switch to another screen to finish that up. I am seeing more Halvars than I am seeing Vorinclex. So, that means Halvar. Switch over to the Halvar deck. Do that. Do that. Drop that in there. Fire up a game. Wait for some Patreons. Get this deck list loaded up. Magda, Maskwood, Silliness. Oh, I know what I can do. I can just post it in the chat. Cool, we got that. Put that in there. Cool. Link is in the chat. Boom. Dunzo. Oh, waiting on some fresh Patreons. We'll have a game shortly. Deck list is now in the chat. I'll get it in the description after the game. It involves significantly more clicking to do that. So it looks like we're going to have Vargoth Voltron and Maja. And we wait. Yeah, I mean the Magda deck we just played, the dragon finish right there, being able to get like the two best dragons in the game, or at least the best red ones anyway. That's kind of crazy, because that will win you a lot of games if you just grab those at the end step. Now you need 10 treasures to do it, and that is a lot, so you'll probably need the Brass's Bounty, but it's not unreasonable to do that. Dockside Extortionist could get you there on some board states. I guess we'll take a look at this Halvar deck while we're loading up. So Halvar, mono white. Played this one earlier this week. Really enjoyed this one, although I really want to switch to Redain in the command zone, because Redain is really cool. Redain just makes me happy. I really just want to play the backside of it and stop everyone's 1 damage triggers, because I think that's awesome. But yeah, I've been really enjoying this card. Can't wait to get this art of it. I really like this art a lot. It's been good. It's been real good. But this deck is about valuing a bit. It's not supposed to be the fastest, most hardcore Voltron ever. We see things like Tome of Legends. We've got Manifold Key to be able to get more activations on the Tome of Legends, or Unblockable as needed. I really like that interaction to run both right there. What else we have? It's sort of the Animus normal stuff. I've got Rogue's Gloves in here because it is easy to get Double Strike, so Rogue's Gloves gets better with Double Strike. It's the least good of like all of those options. If you have Fire and Ice, run Fire and Ice. Mask of Memory is better because of the more cards and lesser mana cost, but you know, we are mono white. It is hard to draw, so Rogue's Gloves it is. Cavalier Dawn, nice piece of value. Nahiri is nice. Oh, we got a match. Yeah, let's do this. Halvar, mono white. Looks all right. Yeah, Sun Titan and Mangara. Those are good. Whoa, what is that? Vargoth Blood Sky Sire. 3 mana, Death Touch, Boast. Target player searches their library for a card, then shuffles their library, puts it on top of it. That is interesting. We're going to keep this. Got Eternal Oketra, and we've got Gilrana and Nadir coming in. Zombies back. Cooking ground beef for tacos. I love tacos. Had tacos last night. I wish I was having tacos again tonight. but I'm not. I'd probably eat tacos every day if I could. The alt art on the Kaldheim cards are sick. Yeah, they did a really nice job with them. Some of the previous ones I wasn't a big fan of, like Invocations. I really don't like at all because I can't read the card. What else? Not a fan of the Godzilla stuff. Ikoria was kind of hit and miss for me. Some of it's fine. Some of it I don't care for that much. But yeah, Kaldheim, I think they did a nice job. That looks really good. My thing too is that like I still need it to look enough like a Magic card. I don't like when it doesn't look like a Magic card at all. The metal cards, for example, I'm kind of out on those just because like I run them because people have given them to me and it's totally cool. But like they don't look like Magic cards, and that's kind of weird to me. Maybe I'm just one of those like cranky old school players that doesn't like change. I don't know why I like so like Magic has been printing the like borderless cards now, or where the the art extends over to the border, and like I don't think it looks as good, but I will get that done from an altar artist like all day every day. I like when an altar artist does it. I don't like when they print it like that. So I don't know. Maybe it's just because I like having unique one of a kind cards, but yep. That's a Weathered Wayfarer off the top. Love it. We're playing last too, so like that's helpful. That's incredibly helpful. Play the Weathered Wayfarer. Probably get an Ancient Tomb, unless I don't know. We'll see what else. Could always grab a Maria. Does Ancient Tomb do that much for us in this moment? It would, because we could like activate him a Kokoro or something. But we should probably also look at like a second white source. Ancient Tomb would get us into a faster Mangara. If we got a second white source right here, we'd be on 2. Then on our third turn, we could pay the 1. We'd have that. Nah, it's still short for Mangara. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we're getting Ancient Tomb. Trying to figure it out. Got Halvar on 4, no equipments yet. Opponent does have a Commander's Plate. Nate said, I have a hard time finding an altar artist I trust. My previous altar artist doesn't alter anymore, which is a big sad. Yeah, that sucks. I've definitely been screwed over one time by an altar artist. I gave them a bunch of money and never heard from them again. That was like 3 or 4 years ago. It was probably about 4 years ago now. It was not ideal. But eventually, and that was to get the Aurelia. That was the channel logo for a long time. It still exists in some places, and my main Aurelia that I use. And I was very disappointed and very sad. And, you're just kind of waiting. Like, you give them a bunch of money, and then you're waiting, and you don't hear anything back, and it's not great. And then I contacted Revelin's Light, and I think the whole thing was done in maybe 2 weeks. Jason says, I gotta admit, they knocked it out of the park with the Kaladesh inventions. Yeah, I love the Kaladesh inventions. They hit a really nice balance of, 1, they are very pretty, but 2, they still look like Magic cards, and I think that's the big thing for me. That's Path of Exile. That might come in handy. Opponents are ahead of us on lands, so we will activate a Weathered Wayfarer. I feel like everything's better if we just go for Ancient Tomb right here. That's how I feel. So I'm going to do that. Then we are going to play the Ancient Tomb. And, ooh, it's a swamp? Nothing to do with it yet, but that does mean we can tap it out without hurting ourselves. So that's cool. We'll do that. Pass like that. Matt makes bison tacos. Can't have beef. If you want heaven in your mouth, try Los Calientos Roja from Heatonist. Amazing. What's Heatonist? Best hot sauce ever? You have my attention. This all sounds delicious. I want all these things. Read the bones for opponent. Gonna scry 2, draw 2, lose 2 life. Commander's Fear for opponent. Oh, can't be running 3-costed mana ramp. You lose the game when you play 3-costed mana ramp. Had a big old argument about Chromatic Lantern today on the Twitters. It's quote-unquote inefficient. I'm like, it's a Sisay deck. It's trying to tap for stacks of Wooburg repeatedly. It makes life really easy to do that. Especially... So if you guys don't follow me, check me out on Twitter, but I did post a photo of the mana base from my paper Sisay Weatherlight Captain deck. 13 basics, no fetches, no duels, 1 shock. And because I was intelligent about how I built the mana base and the ramp in the deck, it's not a problem. I run cards like Chromatic Lantern, I run Burnished Heart and Armillary Sphere because I don't always have access to green, but if I have Armillary Sphere or one of those colorless options in the opener, then, you know, I go get the colors I need, and my mana base is not a problem. And, yeah. People in the 3-mana ramp. Opponent attacking us with the Sword of the Animist. I'm jealous. I want to be attacking people with the Sword of the Animist. Brings back to our turn, Buried Ruin, all the utility lands. This turn I am going to play. Which one do we think we need most? Are there wheels at the table? Low likelihood of a wheel. It's very low. The black decks could be running them, but it's not. Dark Deal isn't usually a card that black decks like to run a lot. So, I guess just get the Inventor's Fair. No, let's get them a Kokoro just in case. And then I'm going to take a turn off from the Weathered Wayfarer to get the Mangara into play, so hopefully we can get some card draw going that way. Thoughts about Coalition Relic? I don't run it as much as I used to. There's definitely still a time and a place to run Coalition Relic. I hate it when that happens. They pathed our Mangara, so that's going to be our card draw going down. However, at least it's a path and not a swords. We get a plains back out of this, so that will ramp us. It's better than swords, but they going to get poked. One thing we could do, and I might think about this, is we're on what? That's 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll be on 6 mana next turn. Ooh. What I want to do is use Gaia Reach Sanitarium, loot a land into the graveyard, then cast Sun Titan to get that land back. That's how you ramp in mono white. It might take us a few turns to do that, though. So it might be like, might have to play Halvar this turn. Because I also want to keep activating the Weathered Wayfarer if I can. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, so Coalition Relic is really good if your commander costs 6. I'm a little bit out on Worn Power Stone these days because if someone bounces it, namely off a Cyclonic Rift, it's incredibly painful to recast. Having the ability to like cast a mana rock that taps for mana right away is much, much better when you're needing to recast after a Rift or a Devastation Tide. And Worn Power Stone just isn't great for that, so there are times that I would run Coalition Relic. I've kind of shifted away from it. You have a lot of options at 3 mana. So you've got Chromatic Lantern, you've got Commander Sphere, you've got Skyclave Relic, which I think is an interesting one. And then you've also got stuff like, they're not 3 mana per se, but Everflowing Chalice and like Astral Cornucopia, I think, are interesting in that they're flexible. So it just depends on like what your deck wants and what you think it needs. Like, you know, if you want to prioritize Commander Sphere and doing the Sun Titan thing because you're mono white and you need draw, that makes a lot of sense. But if you're doing something where your commander costs 6 and you're like, well, I want to hit my commander on turn 4, then Coalition Relic does help. Skyclave Relic is just very good. Um, it's a nice card. It's flexible. If you're in a spot like if we had a Skyclave Relic in our hand, this would be a time to tap out for a Skyclave Relic because the board isn't that threatening right now. Thinking about making a Valky Tibalt for a commander deck. Can't decide between the regular or the other art, the showcase art. Any advice? Pick the one you like, man. I don't know. That's, each card, like some of the cards I like the original art better. Some of them I like the showcase better. A lot of them do have really cool showcases. Halvar is one though that I like the original a little bit better than I like the showcase. The showcase, there's a weird motion in his one arm that like I look at it and I just feel immense pain in my shoulder because I had a shoulder injury a few years ago, and I'm like, that doesn't work for me. You can't hold your arm like that and have it be okay on the showcase. So we'll take a look at it in a moment if you want. We draw another land. Okay, so I think that means that, like, get the Gaia Reach in. Can we get Halvar if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we can use the loot at the end step? Perfect. No. We're one short? I think we're one short. So, that being the case, we're going to activate Gaia Reach. Use the Ancient Tomb. Actually, do we need to use the Ancient Tomb? I don't think we do. Do we even need to do that right now? I don't know. I was sad about getting my Mangara blown up. We can't cast Halvar. We won't have enough white to activate Weathered Wayfarer. So, okay, yeah. I think I'm on some sort of Gaia Reach Sanitarium plan here. Activate the Ancient Tomb. Hopefully we draw into something that makes this worth it. Maybe we, you know what? Maybe we'll just, low likelihood of that happening. I'm going to use the black from Ancient Tomb instead of paying the life. Use that. Ooh, Enlightened Tutor's a good card. Discard a Plains. Actually, discard the Buried Ruin. Yeah, generally, okay, so we can Enlighten Tutor and then we can Weathered Wayfarer. Yeah, that seems like it works. Make sure we Weathered Wayfarer first. Stay in put. So generally speaking, when it comes to pre-orders, waiting is the best option. Most cards go down. The only ones that really go up are the ones that make a splash in Standard or Modern. And even then, it's still likely that they're probably going to come down first for at least a moment before they go back up. There's always a couple. There's a small handful from the set that won't do that. I don't know the exact number, but let's say like there's probably 4 or 5 cards in a set that won't go down much from pre-order, but almost all the other ones will. So it's usually worth waiting unless you're trying to go after that one card that like everyone wants all the time. But there's always some Planeswalker that's like $40 for this set. I think it's Vorinclex instead. And rarely does that card ever hold $40. Maybe it drops down to 20. Sometimes they go lower than that. I heard, what's that card? Aurelia's Fury had an insane pre-order price. Let's see if I can still look that one up. I don't know if the price data still exists. Which is weird because I don't think it's expensive at all now. All right, digging through the price data on Aurelia. Oh my God. So looking at Aurelia's Fury from Gatecrash, when it first came out, like around pre-release and day of, $34, and now it's $1.50. And like the thing is, let's see, that came out in what, January? January by let's see, in 6 months it was about $4. So yeah, be careful of pre-orders. Want to get some value over there. Hanged Executioner coming in. It's going to ETB make a Spirit. They get a God Eternal Oketra trigger, and they get an Oketra's Monument trigger. So no Tybalt's Trickery then. Tybalt's Trickery is different. So Tybalt's Trickery is one, not $40, and two, not a mythic. It's hard to predict, right? I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know exactly what it's going to do. It's a rare. It's not a mythic, so there will be a lot of them. It's a large set. So you have to kind of balance out the fact that there's going to be a lot of them versus there's going to be a lot of people that do want them. You know, I think you're probably safe buying one or two. I wouldn't buy 50 of them at $7, but you know, if you want to get one just to make sure it doesn't go to $20, sure, you know, you can always play it safe that way, but generally most cards are going to go down. Probably, here's a question you have to ask. Will Tybalt's Trickery be more played than Smothering Tithe? I assume the print run of both sets is about the same. They're both rares. Smothering Tithe is like a 100%er in white decks. Tybalt's Trickery is probably close. Like, if you have the budget for it, you probably run it because it's a red counterspell. It won't get you ahead in the same way. Like, it doesn't have the same function as Smothering Tithe. But, you know, so Smothering Tithe, what? It was very cheap when it came out. Then it went to like 5, then 8, then 12, then 30 or something like that. So, you know, I think with Tybalt's Trickery, I think there's going to be time. There's going to be a chance to get it at 5, maybe 5 or less. I don't know. Something like that. And if you could get it in the couple dollar price range, that's probably going to make a lot of sense. Nadir coming into play. Smothering Tithe was also reprinted in the Tulane deck. Yeah, that matters a little bit. The smaller decks like that don't tend to impact price as much. It can help if it's like a really old card that hasn't been printed in 20 years, but on something newer, you know, the precon I don't think drastically changes the amount of Smothering Tithes in circulation. Anyway, we're at the end step here, so let's activate the Weathered Wayfarer first. Go find this Amaria. Cassie and Lighten Tutor, find something to get with it. Probably a sword. Probably want like card draw or something. I'm thinking of Fire and Ice. I think the card draw will keep us going. Also, the removal is nice. So we draw the thing. Play the Sun Titan. Get the Buried Ruin back to play. Use the ability. Anything to do with 2? I'll play the Amaria. Seems like a reasonable turn to get the tap land in. We also need more white sources. And we'll chill like that. Pass the turn. Yeah, maybe we should just went for a green-black sword. A lot of green-black at the table. Kind of want the cards, though. We did lose that Mangara. Then Aurelia's Fury spiked again when Feather was spoiled. Yeah, I don't think it went too high, though. It went to $7. Then all the way back down. There's a reprint in there somewhere, too. Opponent's coming our way. Ew. Protection from white, blue, black, and red, and green, and it's got Death Touch. I guess we're taking that. It hits. What up, Clicky? Glad you stopped by. That's a Toxic Deluge X6. Well, that does make me sad. I did think about a Light and Shadow in case something like this happened, but there it goes. At least we ramped a little. I think we're actually ahead of our opponents on lands. It's 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and Ancient Tomb makes 2. So, yeah, we'll be untapping with 8, 9 when we play the plane. Is that right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we'll have 9 mana next turn. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. How do I feel about Secret Commanders in the 99? They're interesting. So, similar to the deck we just played with Magda, the problem is that if that commander gets blown up, you can't get it back easily. If you have black, you can reanimate it. Green, you could probably Eternal Witness it, but like you don't have access to it in the command zone. So like people do it. I get it. They enjoy it. That's totally cool. It's not something I'm in love with just because it makes a deck so fragile. It's like, okay, shoot the one thing and now your deck kind of falls apart. But it's definitely cool. It's definitely fun, but it from a power standpoint, it doesn't appeal to me that much. But on occasion, you'll see me do something where like, I don't know, I think I did like 4 color wheels or something like that because I wanted Smothering Tithe, and Nekusar doesn't allow you to have Smothering Tithe. So occasionally you'll see me do one of those, but it's not generally something that I do a lot of. JJ's been watching for some goldfish content. Nice. Turgid is your shoe-in for Rakdos Wheels Chainer deck. Looking forward to playing it. Yeah. I'm going to check out Turgid at some point. We'll get there. We will get there. Turgid makes me want to puke a little. I love discard strategies. I can't bring myself to run it. Yeah, it does look extremely nasty. Like, someone said, I feel like it's a real friendship breaker. Yeah, probably. You probably get to play that Turgid deck one time and then never again. Phage with Fractured Identity. Always a good time. Vanquisher's Banner. Ooh, Verdian Zealot coming in. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Don't love that. Do not love that. I'll probably hold back on the Fire Nice then. Don't want to run that out there if we don't have to. Stonehewer Giant. Cool, that gives us something to do. What are we? We're going to need 4 whites, so yeah, play the plains then. Play the Stonehewer Giant. Play Halvar. And we'll pass like that. Opponent has a Nim Death Mantle in play. We should probably be careful with that. Torment of Hellfire in the graveyard. Gross. There's the coffers. Lots of mana now. Equips the plate. Yep. You have to sacrifice this thing, you have to sacrifice that thing. So they can shoot one thing, they can't shoot multiple things. Bloodforge Battle Axe coming in. Expedition map. What are they getting? Probably one of the untapped ones. Stronghold or Deserted Temple. Getting Rogue's Passage. Also a good one. Equip the Bloodforge Battle Axe. Yeah, at some point we might have to blow up the artifacts and enchantments. That's the thing we'll have to think about. Opponent going into the Oketra player, yeah. Oketra's going to bounce in the Stonecloaker. Oh, that's good. That is very good. Please don't exile our Sun Titan. Stonecloaker will be a problem. Especially with the cost reduction, they can make a lot of 4/4s. Orvar is on my radar. I was thinking about it today. I looked at a couple deck lists. Haven't figured out exactly what I wanted to do. If I wanted to try like some all tribal nonsense or I don't know. I was looking at some other stuff. You can like copy Mana Rock. Oh, they exiled the Sun Titan. Rude. So rude. It's going to be a price for that. Or if I wanted to do something else, make copies of stuff and get ridiculous. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Gonna block with a 4/4. I'm gonna take a quick peek to see what equipments we have in the deck. I forget what's in here. We have a Light and Shadow that could have gotten that Sun Titan back, but not anymore. We have a Luxodon Warhammer that might actually be pretty helpful. Umazawa's is good. Sword of Vengeance is good. Opponent's going to hold up that Stonecloaker. I may actually shoot that because that's going to make a lot of 4/4s. I think they can make like 2 4/4s right now. Seems pretty good. I won't be so happy if they just hold up this Viridian Zealot. Death Reap Ritual coming in. Morbid at the beginning of each end step. If creature died, draw a card. You made 2 versions of Orvar. One was a Sagas list and the other was a group hug list. Brewing up a Prismatic Bridge meme deck with Time Stream Navigator. Oh, I gotta look that one up. Forget what that one does. Sylvan Library coming in. Out of, what is that, Rivals of Ixalan? Put it on the bottom of the library, take an extra turn. Oh, nice. Yep. Seems cute. I was thinking about doing some one creature nonsense with Prismatic Bridge again. We'll see. We'll see. See what opponents got for us. Destroying the Nim Death Mantle. Love it. Open season for our equipment. The win con is Divine Intervention. Oh boy. Brings back to our turn. There's a Plains. Yeah, keep going on the Plains count. Does it matter that much? It doesn't yet, but it will at some point. So get the Plains. Puts us on 4. The problems are definitely like here and here. So, what are we doing? We need to activate the Giant. We need to cast the Sword. Let's cast the Sword. Start by doing that. Oh, you want what we should do? Maybe we get the hammer and just free equip it? That doesn't sound like an awful idea. No, I kind of want something else. Okay. Let's just get Feast and Famine. When in doubt, get Feast and Famine. Also, we'll be able to generate a lot of value with it. It's going to be a bunch of 4/4s on the board. Oh, that's kind of scary. We'll probably leave Halvar back then, that being the case. Halvar trigger. Just leave that right there. Trigger, make sure we don't mess that up. Send in. You know what? We could force the stone. We could force the Stone Cloaker. No, but I want to get the untap. Really want to get that extra mana. Sorry, Pauper. Here comes a Stone Hero Giant. Activate the Giant. Time for everyone's favorite game show. Sword of Feast and Famine. Free equip. Feast and Famine on the bottom. What are we shooting? We're going to get 4 damage off that, so it's not going to be enough. I guess we'll kill a token. Ooh, that's a Redane. Love Redane. Let's see. Feast of Famine trigger. Let us... I'm going to activate... since we're about to make them discard 2 cards, we'll activate Makokoro instead. I was going to go for Gaia Reach, but we are being a little bit rude. Oh, that's the Hammer of Nazan. Love that. Same thing again. Shoot this token. Feast and Famine's on top this time. We'll activate the Makokoro. This is mono white card advantage, by the way. This is how you do it. Loot with the Gaia Reach. Double striking a Feast and Famine with a bunch of utility lands. Ooh, a Core Haven. I like Core Haven. Discard the Inventor's Fair, that being the case. All right, so Matt's bringing up a thing I posted on Twitter today, which is I posted a screenshot from my dashboard on YouTube, which shows I've had about a 40% increase in views over the last month and a 2% increase in revenue, which is terribly disappointing. You know, if you go up 40%, you'd hope the other one is a number that is similar to that, and it is not. Um, yeah, I think one of the things right now is just because we're in the pandemic. You can check out the post on Twitter, by the way. But because we're in the pandemic, companies just aren't advertising the same. They're not releasing products the same way that they used to. You know, a big thing right now would be like, where are we, February? People would start to gear up for like movie season and really advertising all the big movies. And movie theaters aren't really a thing right now. So, you know, and you take that same concept and apply that to, you know, a million other industries, and people are just advertising less, which means that there's probably not enough ads to run on everything that they need to be run on all the time. So when there's more ads that people need to run, they'll pay more, and consequently, content creators get paid more. But sadly, uh, you know, right now, it's not great. It's not great. Anyway, we got these triggers resolving. Wow, that did a lot of damage to opponent. Opponent's down to 13 now. Pretty gross. Shoot that token. There's a land tax. I think we're ahead on lands, but we'll play it anyway. Play a Hammer of Nazan. How much more colorless do we need? I think I'm going to use this for a black and not paint ourselves anymore. I always try to be really careful with Ancient Tomb. If you tap Ancient Tomb every single turn, you will lose a game. It burns so much of your own life. I'm going to protect the Stone Hero Giant. It is a very good card and can lead us to victory very easily if it stays alive. Next thing is the Walking Atlas. And the land tax will sit on Path of Exile, and I'll wait on the Redain just in case of a board wipe. You believe that everyone's favorite game show is Wheel of Fortune? Yeah. No, usually I do the Wheel of Fortune bit, but I run enough Feast and Famine that it's kind of like a game show at this point. How long does it take me to find a Feast and Famine? That's the game. So we're doing Prismatic Bridge, one creature, Time Stream Navigator. Is that what we're doing? I'd probably go for one creature. Oh, what's the name of that thing? Uh, the green thing. Liege of the Tangle. Liege of the Tangle. That's my favorite card. It's so silly. That's a Varagoth. That's protection from like everything. Oh, it can't be blocked? That seems like it's a problem. Yeah, I guess that happens. Doesn't have double strike, does it? What'd they discard? They discarded Halvar. Let's move a thing. I'm gonna move a Feast and Famine over to a Halvar. Better watch out for that Heliod's intervention for 0. You're damn right. Commander's Plate. Is that still here? Commander. Still got protection from white. What's giving it white? Oh yeah, Commander's Plate. Commander's Plate, pretty good. Pretty good card. Protection and evasion. This is gonna tickle. We looted opponent's Fire Shrieker and Bitter Blossom with the draw and discard. I don't know what we gave them back on the other side. One was probably a land, but oh yeah, coming our way. coming our way. Oh, you want what we can do? It has trample, so there's not really a point, but we could block with the Walking Atlas. Yep, we'll just take that hit. I'm sure we deserve it. So next turn we want to get the Core Haven in and stop that damage from happening. If they want to come our way. Down to 14. Ooh. Oketra could be scary because they can make some tokens. That's why we got to path the thing when this happens here. Will it tickle my pickle? I don't know if I would say it like that. That sounds kind of dirty. Yep, here comes that Stonecloaker. Oketra's Monument. Got Eternal Oketra. It ETBs. What's it going to exile? It's going to target itself. It's going to exile our Weathered Wayfarer. Well, sir, there will be a price to pay for that. Mostly more for the Sun Titan, but, you know, Weathered Wayfarer is cool too. We're going to exile that Stonecloaker so it doesn't bounce itself and make a whole bunch of tokens. You got the Legion working on it? Want to see the meme deck now? Keep me posted. Stonecloaker gets exiled. It's a good place for us to be. Ooh, opponent had to bounce a token. Yeah, that's not a targeted effect with the Stonecloaker, so, like, you have to bounce something. It's not like you fizzle the target, so they had to get rid of a 1/1. Fantastic. Love it. Love it. Time Stream isn't broken enough for your tastes? Yeah, it's not really broken enough for my tastes either. I'd rather go for Liege of the Tangle. Oh, opponent's going to blow up all the stuff. Don't love that. Don't love that. That's exile too. Not great. Not great. Well, we had our fun for one turn. Vryn Wingmare, kind of nasty. Triggers a bunch of stuff. See, what I like about Liege of the Tangle is that, like, it makes all the power you need if you have a bunch of lands in play. All you have to do is keep your stuff alive from that point on. Yeah, opponent just got a lot of things in play right there. That's pretty big army. Halvar, we're going to move the sword. Try to keep things away if we can. Aha, scared him away. Yeah, that Halvar ability, it's a good defensive ability. We might be on the backside of Redain, though, because a lot of damage on board. Might need to gain some life with the Heliod's intervention, which would be better if we still had that Feast and Famine, but that is gone. Halloween idea, PJ-Tron, wear a homemade Mask of Memory. It's got to be Mask of Memory, Sword of the Animist, and Dowsing Dagger. That's like me-Tron. That's PJ-Tron. That's my value-Tron with Voltron decks. And like any commander that flies, I'm probably just running those cards because it's too good not to. You used to routinely blow out a guy in your playgroup who played Liege of the Tangle. Nice. Yeah. Uh, See, with Prismatic Bridge, you can like run a lot of counter spells in that deck, which I will probably do. The Naya version of that, it's a little tougher that I did with who was it, Atla Palani. Unfortunately, we need like two equipment right now. We need like a Black Blade Reforged and a Luxodon Warhammer, and I don't know if that's coming. I don't know if there's a great way to get both of those in the same turn. We're definitely going to want to leave up the Core Haven, though. That's going to be very relevant. Sword of the Animist on this Gilorana. Zombie's still at 39 life over there, just chilling. Mango's at 34. That's because he always has stuff in play. Hard to get in there. Halvar trigger. Hammer time? No Sunforger in this deck. Oh, I wish. I wish Mono White had a Sunforger. I was looking at putting Sunforger in my Legendary Blades deck today, and then I realized there's like 3 instant spells in the deck. So then I passed on that. Yeah, Lifelink does seem very good right now. Definitely a Luxodon Warhammer. But a second equipment would do a lot for us. If we caught like Stoneforge Mystic off the top. Wow, that's surprising. That's a land tax trigger. Didn't think we were going to get one of those. Someone has outramped us. Get 3 planes. Oh, let's hope we don't run into the bug. Me and KO did a whole thing on this. That's going to be a video at some point. Oh, we drew a Doomscar. How do I feel about a Doomscar? Oh, we could play it. But I think we can hold out in this board state. Maybe it's not amazing, but play the Core Haven, tap the Walking Atlas, drop in a Plains. Maybe we do need a Doomscar. That would probably be a pretty good reset. They can recast with all that though, and they've got haste on the Sword of Vengeance. Although I guess we still have Core Haven. But then we would lose the Giant, and I don't like losing the Giant. What are we on? We're on 5 planes? We can probably make it work with a Luxodon Warhammer. Send in Halvar. Attach that to itself. We can get a Light and Shadow. Light and Shadow doesn't do that much, though. We gain a 6 life, but they can't block. And put sizable damage on them. It would put them to 16 commander. That would hurt. But I think I just want lifelink more than I want anything. Send in Halvar. Let's see how they plan for this. I wonder if they're expecting us to grab Trample. You need to wipe now to live? No, we'll be fine. What's the worst that could happen? They're planning for Trample. I'm fine with that. Activate the Stone Hero Giant. Get Luxodon Warhammer. Oh, we have Argentum Armor in this deck. Probably should have grabbed an Argentum Armor. Next turn we'll get the Argentum Armor. So yeah, we're going to do a whole bunch of stuff right there. Killed a bunch of things on the first strike. Went back up to 23 life. Then here comes the double strike. And Trample over for 8. Excellent. Shoot the Vryn Wingmare. There's the Light and Shadow. We are tapped out, though. Maybe we do need a Redain to have a blocker. I was hoping to play the backside of it, but I think this is going to be a situation for the front side. Because, like, oh man, if we can just keep riding Stone Hero Giant's so good. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to cast Redain. Yeah, I think we can use this. We can do that. I might hold the Light and Shadow. Yeah, I think I'm going to hold it in case of like an austere command. We don't really need to expose that. Because if everything gets blown up, our ability to get stuff back is this Light and Shadow. So we have kind of a lot riding on that. Yeah, that seems good. We'll pass. Got the Core Haven to protect us from the Voltron. Zombie's going to get to draw a card. I need to call those equipments assembling PJtron? I should. That's the Commander Replay special sauce right there. You play Sunforger in a deck with Deflecting Swat, Swords. Yeah, I mean, you don't need a lot of stuff. Like, honestly, just having a couple impactful cards. Teferi's Protection, Boros Charm, and like a Deflecting Swat is probably fine. Maybe a Generous Gift or a Chaos Warp. But, oh man, that Sisei deck, because it's 5 color, is just so greedy on everything. It needs a lot of ramp. Like, there's like 17 pieces of ramp in the deck, which I could probably cut like 1 or 2, but it is a very mana-hungry deck. And then, like, there's so many cool value pieces. Like, Raf Capuchin gives you everything at instant speed. Nazan is cool. Godo, just so many cool things to do that it's hard to have a really elaborate Sunforger package also on top of all that stuff. So let's get the Luxodon Warhammer over on the Redain. Oh, also this half makes the spells much harder for our opponents, the big spells anyway. Opponent coming in. Activate the Core Haven. Opponent's going to activate Varagoth. I hope that's not an Imp's Mischief. Actually, that can't... No, he can't change the target. There's no other legal targets. Thankfully. Hope we can't give it like Shroud or something at instant speed. That would be weird. I am not aware of how you would do that in mono black. Core Haven is not white. It is colorless. Damage is prevented. Yay! Sunforger is indeed even spicier now that Tibalt's Trickery is a card. Like, that's probably going to go in every Sunforger deck because a counterspell just seems too good not to. Whatever nasty thing they're trying to play, Board Wipe, Torment of Hailfire, Expropriate, even smaller stuff. You know, suppose they're trying to cast their own Feast and Famine in the middle of a game. Whatever else they get is probably not as good as the thing that you're countering. Nice. Opponent's going to make the Zombie Warrior unblockable. I think frustrated with us. We now have a name for the meme deck. It's called the Rainbow Connection. Nice. I like that, actually. Kill the equipment? Yeah, we'll probably have to do that at some point. We gained a bunch of life back, so that's helpful. In some of my equipment decks, like the Aurelia deck, I haven't run Luxodon Warhammer as much lately because there's just so many options, but it's still so good. Gaining a lot of life back is a very valuable tool. In addition to like the size and the trample, it's one that I really want to carve another spot for in the deck, but that deck is so tight on deck slots. It is very difficult to do. Move this sword over. Opponent's got 8 commander. We would need to get to what? We need to do... opponent's coming in with that thing. Coming in with that thing. This is a 7-5 with double strike. Opponent gets a counter. Yep. Block with Redain. Can we not block? Fear. We cannot block. And that one can't be blocked. Okie dokie. Guess we're going to take that damage. Make sure that that's not... That's all Varigot damage. Tibalt's Trickery does give Winota a way to deal with Demonic Consultation. The problem is still the mana and the speed. The speed at which people can drop a Consultation is very much a problem. But yeah, also Adnause. Adnause is super problematic. The problem, though, is always just going to be like holding that mana up. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. It's definitely a helpful tool, though. Losing my voice a little bit here at the end of this game. Opponent gets a thing. Trusty Pack Beast. Returns an artifact from the graveyard to the hand and triggers all the stuff. Getting back the Commander Sphere. Sylvan Library for Zombie. Yeah, I've been a little bit down on my CEDH Winota deck lately. It just like, I feel like CEDH has got even faster. Like, turn 2, turn 3 is kind of the big turn now. And it's like, if you don't have the right hate bear on that turn, sometimes the game just ends. It's been tough to guard against that, even with all the work I put into Winota. It's, it was great when it first came out. Things were a teeny bit slower. And I think there were more counterspells because right when it came out, I think Flash was still illegal for a minute, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it wasn't. I think it was. It was around the same time. And with Flash, everyone has to hold up counterspells because that's really the only best way to stop Flash. Grafdigger's Cage, maybe, but there's a lot more counterspells at that point, and I think there's less counterspells, and everyone just like, you just go for it now because of that. I faced a really nasty Sakashima Krark deck that was unbelievably fast. Rishgar's Expertise, can't do much about that. Only 3, though. It's not the most exciting Rishgar's Expertise. Parallel Lives, that's a good one. I think we can take out 2 opponents this turn. Halvar giving your stuff double strike is so good. I can't explain how good that ability is because you have to run a lot of specific cards usually to get Double Strike, True Conviction, Duelist Heritage. You can run the equipments if you want to. I'm not the biggest fan of them, but having Double Strike in your command zone is so good. All right, end step, activate the Gaia Reach. You know, I have a God Eternal Ketra deck built in paper, and I should probably just switch it to Halvar. Not going to have all the swords available, because I think I've only got like one Fire and Ice, but I've been really impressed with what Halvar's been doing. We draw on All Is Dust. If things go wrong, that's the emergency button. Which is better from the command zone, Haste or Double Strike? Both are good. Both are in the like high priority abilities that you want on a commander, but Haste is a very useful one. Um, if you're in red, Haste is easier to get. If you're not in red, Haste can be pretty difficult to get. So it depends, but those are both like very high priority abilities. The one thing with Haste though is that the turn after it's in play, Haste no longer does anything. It's only useful like when you're recasting it, but very very useful when you're recasting it. That's what really separates Aurelia from everything else is the fact that you can just keep recasting it with Haste. To me, that sets it apart from Sir Gwyn. Sir Gwyn does a lot of wonderful things. Sir Gwyn does not have haste naturally, and that is a problem for me a lot of the time. Anyway, that brings it to our turn. Play this Plains. Play this Light and Shadow. So if we put this on Halvar, double check, that's black, that's white. I don't think they're going to have any blockers, and we can drop a Blackblade Reforged on that. And then that'll be lethal there, and this will be lethal over at Pauper. So go to combat. Halvar triggers. Interestingly, cannot choose itself. Matt says there are 6 slots in Sir Gwyn dedicated to haste. Yeah, I've had something like that, and I still miss them all. Somehow I don't draw them when I need them. Attack like that. Drop in a Blackblade Reforged. Oh, we forgot to get the Argentum Armor again. I've been wanting to use that Argentum Armor so badly. This would have been a perfect time to do it. Choose our commander. We'll probably get an opportunity on Zombie. 3 board wipes seems like a sign to wipe. No, we're good. We're good. We're about to get very far ahead now. It's got a couple enchantments over there. That's a thing. Opponent gets hit. Start shooting stuff. What's this do? That's a 2/2. Shoot that. Light and Shadow. No creatures. So opponent goes down to commander, use light and shadow. Opponent goes down. Opponent gets hit. Fire and ice. Shoot. What does that one do? Shoot that one. Another light and shadow. No creatures. Use that. Ooh, runs. This is going to be our 7th planes. Excellent. Shoot that. Draw another card. That's an Arden. Keep that one in our hand. Activate the Walking Atlas. Drop in the planes. That's the 7th planes. I guess we'll foretell this, just in case. And we'll pass like that. Sir Gwyn does indeed have black. Dedicate slots to Anger, Grave Tutor, General Tutors, unless that's what you're already doing. See, it's tricky because, like, if you're doing that, that's other deck slots that you can be using for other equipment tutors. So it's a weird place to be. That deck gets stretched really thin. And adding black to the mix does kind of complicate it a bit because, yes, you do have a lot of tutors, but I don't know. It's a weird concept of like, all right, if you have a demonic tutor, do you go get an equipment or do you go get some other thing? It's a weird place to be. Let's say if you're talking about Entomb. Entomb would probably be better served as a Steel Shaper's Gift most of the time. And I don't know. It's just weird. So having haste naturally on your commander is unbelievably good for Voltron. And, you know, like it kind of sucks having to run 6 slots to haste in Sir Gwyn or something like that. That's a lot of slots dedicated to that ability. And like not all of them are the best. You have probably 2 really good ones in the boots and then maybe a third one with like Sword of Vengeance is fine, and then the plate and the chariot. The plate and the chariot are okay, but Sir Gwyn needs the size a lot, and those ones don't give you size at all. That's the Rise of the Dark Realms. Well, he's gonna make it interesting. Nothing we can do about it. He gets back a whole bunch of elves. That one, unfortunately, is removal. The rest don't impact us too much yet. But we will probably lose a sword in this somewhere. Oh, this is probably the turn. We can get the Argentum armor, and he'll probably have to use the removal on Argentum armor. It makes me sad, but that's probably what's going to happen. Oh, Mango had Teferi's Protection in hand, but I think he was tapped out. Didn't quite read it right. I think he was a little bit behind on lands, too. I forget exactly what his land count was, but if you're on top of all your lands, like we've been ramping as much as we can this game, that gives you the ability to do your stuff and hold up the Teferi's Protection. Versus if you're falling behind, you can't get ahead and play the Teferi's Protection all in the same shot. Helvar trigger. Move this over there. Still can't believe that Sir Gwyn has a higher CMC than Chulane. Yeah, they definitely mixed those up. Chulane would be much safer at 6, and Gwyn probably needs to be about 5 or 6 with haste. I think would really make a big difference for Gwyn. But 5 would also be very good, because 6 is a lot. 6 is a lot. The problem, though, is that, like, at a casual table, Sir Gwyn stomps casual tables so hard. It's just bigger and more evasive than everything else, like, almost immediately. I've had that experience where I'm like, when Sir Gwyn first came out, I didn't really know what it did yet, and some guy was playing it. He had it proxied up, so it wasn't actually even printed yet. And I'm just like, wait, why is it a 9/9? It's like turn 6 or something, and he had, like, flying and everything on there. And I was playing some very chill deck, and yeah, Sir Gwyn sits in a weird place. Sits in a very weird place. It Definitely very good against casual decks and struggles quite a bit against faster, lower curve decks. But anyway, let's see. What do we need to do? Let's use the Stoneforge Mystic and get another equipment. See if we can finish it up right here. Are there any new legends from Kaldheim that I'm excited to build? Yeah, I'm really excited to build Redain, actually. It'll probably be very similar to this deck list, few changes, but I don't know why. I just like Redain. I really like this card. But there's a bunch of things. I've been looking at Orvar. I've been looking at Prismatic Bridge. Some fun stuff to do with that. Started thinking about Kardur, the Black Red God. There's a lot of really cool cards in Kaldheim. Like, no joke. Just a ton of really awesome things. So, yeah, there's a lot of things I'm very excited to build, but definitely got a few that I like also. Sinew and Steel? Sinew and Steel's cool. Commander's Plate is... No, they're green? They're green. Commander's Plate. Get a Commander's Plate. Play a Commander's Plate. Let's see. That's going to be a ton in the air. It's going to lose the Blackbladed Forge. It had 7. Argentum Armor will make it 13, so I guess we're putting this all on... Oh, that's 5. 5's a bit. 5 is a bit. Oh, I know what we can do. We can pay the 3, equip it to our commander, and then use the ability to move it. Go to combat. Halvar trigger. Use this over there. Oh, I wanted to do a thing. Set a stop right there. Almost forgot the Argentum Armor again. Let's get the Argentum Armor this time. Argentum Armor. On the Redain. Go to combat. It's so big. It's got 30 power. Double strike, lifelink, trample. Protection from 4 colors. Yes. Which one they shoot? And they're going to shoot the Blackblader Forged. I think it's still enough. I hope it's still enough. 16? Yeah. It's going to be just enough. Going to put them to -1. Unless they have reach. No, we got pro green, though. I think we're good. Think we are good. Yep, he scoops it right there. There it is. Redain taking us home. This card's so good for Voltron decks. You just put things on it. It's so good with Halvar, too. Oh, man. Yeah, you like that big brain play right there at the end? Usually I miss those because I'm, like, multitasking and doing a bunch of stuff. But, yeah, that worked out. So, anyway, that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you guys for watching. If you like what I do, make sure you like and subscribe. Check me out on Twitter and Patreon. Twitter.com, patreon.com/commanderreplay. We'll be back again next week. Streaming again on Friday. Got a bunch more Kaldheim videos lined up for next week. Got some other stuff in there too. Should be coming out. Got the second episode of the podcast sometime next week. Those things take a while to edit, so we'll get that out when I can. But yeah, it's been fun. Oh my god, I'm losing my voice. But yeah, it's been fun. This Halvar deck has been super cool. The Magda deck we played early on, really fun but really glassy. Maybe you're better off just building it in a more like conservative manner of using actual dwarves and dragons to do the thing. But the dragons aspect of that deck really powerful. So anyway, thank you guys for joining, and I hope you all have a wonderful night, and we'll see you later.